Plaintiff Michael Lindhorst Jr. says his big brother conned him out of $4,000 he'd saved up since he was 12 years old. Defendant Jeremy Haddad admits he got money from his younger brother, but says it was just part of the sharing that goes on in every family.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
This is case number 225 on the docket, Lindhorst versus Haddad.
Okay, and welcome to you guys. We have the plaintiff, Mr. Lindhorst, and you are suing your brother, Jeremy, for $4,000 for a personal loan to fix his car. Why don't we start with you, and then I'll get your side of the story, okay?
So I'm suing my brother because he's taking advantage of me. He's been borrowing money from me since I was 12 years old, and he borrowed $4,000 on July 12th. It was to fix his truck, and I had a savings account with $4,000 in it that I've been saving since I was 11 years old when I got my first job at a horse farm.
Yes.
And I basically have been saving up my whole life, working on that farm and delivering pizza, and he borrowed the money. I have my bank statements.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that, and he promised to pay you back, and you're saying he didn't.
Yes, he would waste money. I have proof of that on Facebook of him going skydiving, going on helicopter rides, buying new tools, and I have pictures from Facebook. He bought this air compressor 2 months ago for $3,000.
Okay, if I could hear your side of the story now.
Your Honor, I don't owe my little brother anything. You know, through, you know, his whole growing up, I bought him, you know, mini dirt bikes when he was a kid, giving him any old video games I've had. You know, this is what family is. Like, there'd be a point, you know, where I need something, and I know he'll be there for me. Like this, we've always done this, you know.
Right.
But you know, this has completely changed our relationship. He's been bugging me all the time, being annoying, calling all the time, obviously stalking my Facebook.
Now let me hear from your mom. These are both your sons, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
When my son Jeremy borrowed this money from my son Michael, he did intend on paying him back 2 weeks later. He promised he would.
I'm surprised you're picking sides, Mom.
I'm not on sides, I'm being fair.
You shouldn't pick any side.
It doesn't matter if you're my son or not. It's not right that he took all this time and gave all kinds of excuses of why he didn't pay it, didn't answer his texts, didn't answer his calls, and eventually he blocked Michael from his phone, which is not right, because when you owe somebody money and when you make a promise, whether it's verbal, written, or either way, you pay them. You be a man of your word. You're only as good as your word.
I don't think I owe him any money. I mean, this is what family's for.
You did wrong. You borrowed, you said you'd return, and you didn't. And now you've ignored him, and you've given him no other choice but to take you on court about this. This is not his fault. This is your fault.
So we have messages showing that my mom's saying to him that he was intended to pay the money back in 2 weeks. And then I also have messages between me and him that say, I'm saying, are you ever going to pay me back? You're making me nervous. He said, of course, I'm not a thief. And he blocked me on all social media and my number, so I had no contact with him.
Okay. Here's Mom saying, I'm not taking sides, but he's been waiting a long time for his money, and you had promised him it 2 weeks after you had borrowed it. He doesn't know what else to do to get his money, and a lot of times you won't reply to him or answer his calls. It's been very difficult for me, you're saying, but that wasn't part of the agreement. Mom says, are you ever going to pay me back? And then you say, of course, I'm not a thief. All right, here's what I see. I don't think there's any question that it was a loan. He loaned you $4,000 and you said you would pay him back. And that's all very believable. Now you're saying on your behalf that I've done a lot of things for you, I've given you breaks on other things, you needed things in life and I've done it for you. So it goes back, and that's his defense. Now,
that's what family's for.
But we're in a court of law, and here's what the law is on things like that, because that happens a lot. That you have an alternative way, you're suggesting the alternative way you paid him back. However, under the law, that is only acceptable if the person who made the original loan agrees that that is repayment.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the whole, when I bought him the dirt bike when I was a young kid, like, I was trying to help him get the childhood that I didn't have. Like, I was, you know, I had a single parent, brought up in an apartment, You know, had 2 parents in a house with land. You know, the whole reason I bought him the dirt bike when he was 7 years old was because he had land to ride on, the stuff that I didn't have. Like, you know, just always wanted to be, you know, to help my little brother and help anybody in my family have a better childhood than I have. And I just did not expect this. Like, it wasn't alone. It was like family helping family. You know, it wasn't alone. It was like family helping family. That's how I looked at it from the beginning.
My whole entire life, we've never been close. He's gone to college. He lives an hour and a half away from me now. We see each other probably only a few times a year.
You know, there are obviously some issues here with family. Mom, you're in the middle of it.
Yes,
You've raised,
but
you know,
still, fair is fair, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Is there any document that says that it's a loan and he will pay you back?
I have a paper that says he owes me the money and that he was going to pay me back. Just basically him admitting that he owes me the money.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. And here he signs it saying that he will pay $1,000 before the 20th of each month. Okay, but you did sign this saying you'd pay $1,000 before the 20th of each month, beginning on June. If you don't believe you should do this, why did you sign it?
On that day when he came in.
Came in where?
My shop. He came in my shop.
Okay, and what kind of shop is this? I'm sorry.
So I do detailing, like detailing of vehicles.
Oh, I see.
So he shows up to my shop. This will be the second time in 8 or 10 months that he showed up. When he walked in the door, I was all happy. I was smiling. I thought he'd come to visit because it's not close to my mother's house where he lives. And as soon as I started talking to him, he had the document in his hand. He's bringing this up again. I thought he was there to visit, and then he throws this in my face, and I didn't even read it. I just signed him. I had customers come in. I didn't know he was there to do this. I thought he was there to say hi, so honestly, I didn't even read it.
The facts are that he did loan you $4,000. Your defense is, hey, I did things for you, and I understand that. However, he has to agree under the law that he will accept that as repayment. And because he hasn't accepted that, I have no choice but to say that the $4,000 is still owed, so judgment for the plaintiff, $4,000. Hey YouTube, check out my new show, Judge Jerry. Now for a sneak preview and behind-the-scenes footage, subscribe to my channel now.